He raised one child out of his 7.
Whoa, let's not.
No, let's
We're
go
gonna
there.
talk about
That's
it
what we're
because
here for
you're
today.
lying here, and it's
One thing you can always expect to see on paternity court is a father denying his child. Sometimes the fathers could be right for denying the child, and mothers hate to see a man deny their baby. Here are some of those moments when women threw allegations. Ms. Lytle and her sister are in court claiming that they have always known the defendant to be their father, and the fact that he is denying them has brought pain throughout their childhood. They hope that the results are going to clear the air and they can put an end to the mystery that has been going on for 25 years. This is how the case begins.
Ms. Lytle, you and your sister claim you've always known the defendant is your father and say his paternity denial caused pain throughout your childhood. You hope today's results put an end to this 29-year mystery. Is that correct?
yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
That's really sad. Like Judge Lauren said, you can honestly see the pain in her eyes. Her childhood must have been really traumatic, having a father who denied her all through her life. Mr. Finister, the defendant, says that the reason he denied her was because for years now, he has had doubts.
And I just want to know so I can move forward and put this behind me.
Yes. As young girls going through so much, how did you cope with this?
I would write. I wrote a poem when I was a child. I have one today.
Please read it for me.
It's titled, Why? Daddy, why did you leave me? Why did you go? Didn't you know I loved you so? You couldn't stay and went away.
Man, that almost made me cry. Ms. Finister just recited a poem that went straight to everyone's heart in the courtroom. She tells Judge Lauren that these poems were the only way she could cope throughout her childhood when her father was constantly denying her. That explains why Mr. Finister can't look up. He must feel guilty.
Their biological father?
I have doubts.
Tell me the nature of your relationship with their mother.
We've met 30 years ago. She didn't have anywhere to live. I told her, come and stay with me. So she did. And that's where it began.
Where the intimate relationship
Yes.
began.
Yes.
And
She
how
stayed
soon after that time did you find out she was pregnant?
over a year. The next time I saw Noreen, I was at the hospital.
Phew, that would have hit him like a bomb. Mr. Finister explains to Judge Lauren that his sexual relationship with their mother began when he asked her to move in with him since she had nowhere to go. He then goes on to say that he was at the hospital when he saw their mother with a baby girl. She dropped the bomb on him and told him that the little girl was his child.
How long were you together?
Pretty close to a month before she left and went to Washington State.
What happened?
She
you
wanted
look
to
so
move.
happy on this day.
Well,
My mom was on drugs. My mom wanted to better herself. So she wanted to leave Vegas behind so that we can go and start over and have a healthy mother-daughter relationship with all her kids.
It's crazy that Mr. Finister can't remember when Ms. Finister was born. That's just disappointing. Mr. Finister says that after he and their mother got married, she left a month later and he didn't hear from her again. Ms. Finister then explains that the reason she left was because she was on drugs and she wanted to better herself, but Mr. Finister didn't like that.
Oh,
the
wait,
judge-
hold on. So you had no idea Lakita was on the earth until you got the papers?
that's right.
May I ask you a question? If that's the case, why would you even tell me I'm your child? Why do you keep telling me there's no doubt, and regardless of what happens, I'm your daughter?
Well, that skeleton is out of Mr. Finister's closet. They get into an argument, and Ms. Finister drops a bomb saying that Mr. Finister told his family that he only has one child, whereas he actually has 7 kids. The crazy part is that he took care of just 1 out of the 7 kids that he has. Imagine that.
Lakita was born September 29th. That same year, which would put the conception date back sometime in early January. That is 2 to 3 months before you say you even reconnected with.
There's no lie in that. If we go by the evidence Mr. Finister just presented, there is no way he could be Ms. Finister's father. The timeline just doesn't add up. But then again, could this piece of evidence be true? What if this is another attempt to cover up the fact that he doesn't want to be their father?
It's a lot because to us, we don't get any of this. We don't hear this. It's everyone else that he tells this stuff to, and that's what's so painful. Because at least be honest with me. Let me know. I should be the first person to hear.
Oh wow, her brother said that? Phew. Apparently their brother dropped a statement, and it explained that Mr. Finister asked Ms. Finister's mother for a DNA test when the court papers hit his doorstep. He felt like Ms. Finister's mother was trying to pin a baby on him, and he didn't want to take any chances.
And my mom raised me, so of course, I'm gonna more than likely have that attitude because me and her were like best friends. So our disconnect is my attitude. He feels like I can't be his child because his child wouldn't act the way that I act. But you didn't raise me.
Oh, it's more than heavy. That was a lot. You can honestly tell that Ms. Finister is upset and heartbroken that he was not in her life. She says that she owes him nothing since he chose to walk out of her life from the very beginning. Phew, if only her mother were alive to sort out this mess.
Now, she's always been sure, and I've always had a question because there's been that disconnect. And regardless of what we go through, regardless of how much I give, he refuses to build that connect with me. So I always told Tiffany, I'm like, well, I don't think he's my dad.
Man, this is a really, really sad case. They say that the only time they ever felt love was when their mother was still alive. And the moment she passed away, all that love was gone because nobody cared about them. Not even Mr. Finister. I think it's time for us to get to the results. Let's see if they have a reason to truly hate Mr. Finister.
Mr. Finister, you are the father. Mr. Finister, you are the father.
I told you. My mama does not lie. My mom is very blunt and very open. She's not a liar.
Mr. Allen says that Ms. Diaz has been desperately trying to pin a child on him for the last year and a half, and he wants it to stop. He says that it is impossible for him to have fathered her child, Jordan. Ms. Diaz, on the other hand, says that Mr. Allen is the most delusional man on the planet, and she just needs him to own up to his child. This is how the case begins.
Mr. Allen, you say Ms. Diaz has been desperately trying to pin her son on you for the last year and a half, and you want it to stop. You say that barring the invention of a teleportation machine, it would have been impossible for his own son.
That explains why he said the only way he could have been the father is if there was a teleportation device. Mr. Allen says that he was not in the same state with Ms. Diaz at the time the baby was conceived. Well, someone is definitely lying, and we are going to find out who.
He said he wasn't in the same state, Ms. Diaz.
That's a lie. We had Easter together at my house. That's a lie.
And you believe that's the window of time when you conceived?
Yeah, that's what the doctor said. A week before or a week after Easter, and Easter's in April.
Okay. Mr. Allen explains that he actually was in Tennessee, but he was with another woman. He then goes on to say that he remembers Ms. Diaz asked him to come over and spend Easter with her and her family, but he declined the offer, making it impossible for them to have conceived a child.
But we ended up talking and we ended up hitting it off, and she moved in with me not too soon after talking and being together. We were good for the first maybe 3-4 months of our relationship, and then after that it was always fighting and bickering. It was a whole lot of back and forth.
So a lot of back and forth, a lot of on and off.
Yes, ma'am. We moved to Tennessee, and that's whenever it got worse. It wasn't really a good relationship.
So at some point you break up. When did the breakup happen?
Well, clearly she could not have made a baby all by herself. Ms. Diaz says that when she told him that she was pregnant, he immediately denied the child and told her that the baby couldn't be his. Oh, and let's not forget the fact their relationship was already a very horrible one.
And she goes,
Oh.
And she goes, well, you're the father. And I was like, no, I'm not, what makes me the father? Prove it. And so she started sending me.
So wait, this was during a time when you were broken up.
Right.
You were living in another state again.
Yes, ma'am.
You felt so far removed from this relationship, you responded to her, congrats to you.
Right.
So, Ms. Diaz, during this time, were you dating anybody else?
Not really. I mean, it was...
Ha. Looks like Ms. Diaz is the one who is being delusional. She admits to Judge Lauren that Mr. Allen was not the only guy she slept with. She says that it was more of a one-time thing and there's no way it could have gotten her pregnant. Well, like the judge said, it takes just once.
She was sleeping with 2 other guys at the time, Your Honor.
How did you find that out?
Right, my friends don't talk to you.
Multiple best friends of hers told me that she was with at least 2 guys, and that's 2 that I know of. And she texted me actually herself about this one guy she was hooking up with. And, you know,
What did she say?
she would say, well, I'm with another guy now, you know, you don't have to keep texting me and making sure that I'm okay. And, you know, so from that point on, I was like,
Phew, this case just keeps getting more intense. Mr. Allen says that a couple of her best friends told him that Ms. Diaz was sleeping with at least 2 other men. Aside from that, she even told him to his face that she was hooking up with someone, and he did not have to always check on her or text her.
You told her, prove that I'm the father.
right, and she would send me pictures of the ultrasound, and she would send me pictures of the doctor's appointments and all that, and update me on it. And I would say the dates of conception, that did not add up to whenever me and Miss Diaz were last together, like together. There was this one point where, you know, I actually called her.
Wow, he has some balls, that's for sure. But there's something funny about everything he just said. He claims to have broken up with Ms. Diaz and didn't want anything to do with her anymore. If that's the case, why then is he calling and texting her and trying to know if she's okay?
But yet it took her 4 months to text me and say that I was absolutely the father. So if she knew I was the father, why would she wait that long?
Let's ask her. Let's ask her.
Because that's a lie. I found out 4 months pregnant, and I have the pictures to prove it.
That kind of makes sense. Mr. Allen tells the judge that he feels the fact that Ms. Diaz took so long to tell him about the baby is because she wanted to tell the other possible fathers and see if they would accept the child. Ms. Diaz, in her defense, says that she initially did not know she was pregnant, and that's why it took that long before she told him.
State your name for the court.
Austin Griffin, Matthew Allen's cousin.
All right, you are Mr. Allen's cousin. All right, so what do you know about this situation?
I know that Matthew was with me during the time of conception because, like he said, we were dating 2 other females. They invited us to have Easter dinner with their family.
Ha 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 ha. That made me crack up real good. Mr. Allen's cousin steps to the podium and tells the judge that he knows Mr. Allen was not around during the window of conception because Mr. Allen was having Easter dinner with his family. Well, at least Mr. Allen has someone to back up his story.
A lot of stuff, hamburgers, hot dogs.
That ain't Easter dinner.
It's what we ate.
Ms. Diaz, Mr. Allen brought a witness to say he was with him and he wasn't in the state during Easter. Are you sure you got the dates right?
Yes, ma'am.
What did you eat for Easter dinner?
Potato salad.
This is actually a mystery. It's crazy how both of them are telling 2 different stories in the courtroom and they just can't seem to agree on anything. Man, someone is definitely lying, and from the look of things, only the DNA results can get us to the truth we are looking for. Well, here are the results.
Mr. Allen, you are the father. You are the father. That is your handsome little boy. He definitely got more of your cousin's genes. But he's yours. I'm just kidding. Congratulations, Mr. Allen. I see the tears in your eyes. It means something to you to be a father.
Mr. Hoover has asked the court to grant him a DNA test. He wants to prove to his fiancée that he is the father of her 8-month-old daughter. He says that results from this case is the only way he can save his family. Ms. Armour is also hoping and praying that Mr. Hoover is the biological father of her daughter. This is how their case begins.
You have petitioned the court for a DNA test to prove to your fiancé that you are the father of her 8-month-old daughter, Nova Lee. You need today's DNA results to keep your family.
You can tell he is actually a good man. He says that he loves his girls, and they mean the world to him. Ms. Armour admits that she had a one-night stand with her ex-boyfriend and is now praying that Mr. Hoover is the father of the child in question. Well, let's see if her wish comes true.
She started grunting when she was a couple months old, and it wasn't a mean grunt or nothing, it was a playful one. And I just tested it, I grunted back, and now that's our thing, we grunt at each other. I can already tell she's got an imagination.
That's beautiful.
Ouch, that has got to hurt real bad. Ms. Armour tells the judge that as much as she loves Mr. Hoover and wants him to be the man she gets to spend the rest of her life with, she just knows deep down that her daughter does not belong to him. It's really heartbreaking that Mr. Hoovy is in such a position.
We met when I was working at a convenience store. He'd always come in and we'd talk. It wasn't really anything other than idle chatter. And one day he came in and said, "Hey, come here." And he pulled out a pink bracelet and he said, "I made this for you." And it was the first time we ever really...
There's no lie in that. Sadly, this case right here is looking like it's not going to have a fairy tale ending. Ms. Armour remembers how she and Mr. Hoover met. She says it was the best and most beautiful thing ever. If that's the case, how did it all go wrong? What made her step out of their relationship?
We ended up up breaking up, but within 3 days of us breaking up, I ended up hooking back up with my ex for a one-night stand.
Oh, dreaded ex.
Well, we worked together, so it was hard to stay away from him.
Men, that's just really sad. It's not even surprising that Mr. Hoover cried when he found out she was pregnant. Ms. Armour explains that when she and Mr. Hoover broke up, she ended up sleeping with her ex. The crazy thing is that they work in the same place, so technically, she couldn't avoid him.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, that would make the window of conception approximately the fourth week in September, the 10th through the 18th. When were you intimate with Mr. Hoover?
That entire time.
Well, he definitely doesn't agree with her on the issue of the conception date. Ms. Armour explains to the judge that, given the time the baby was conceived and when she gave birth to her daughter, her ex fits the description of being the father, but Mr. Hoover says that she is wrong.
The both of you in October.
Absolutely. Yes, Your Honor.
You
Yes,
were.
Your Honor.
So, that's still, even if the conception window is where you believe it may be, a little later, Mr. Hoover is still a possibility.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so let's go to the birth.
You just have to love Mr. Hoover. He says that even when he knew the child could belong to another man, he signed the birth certificate of the child because all that mattered to him at the time was the fact that he loved Ms. Armour, and the child also deserved all the love in the world.
Did you tell your ex you were giving birth, when you were going to be induced, that Novalee was coming?
Yes, Your Honor.
You did?
I did.
And what was his response? Was he interested in being a father?
He said, let me know if she's mine or not.
I don't think anybody needs to tell her that the ex wants nothing to do with her child. Ms. Armour says that she told her ex he was not the father of her child because she didn't like the lifestyle he was living and didn't want any of that near her child. I mean, you can already tell he doesn't want anything to do with the baby.
Well, my ex didn't really come back into the picture until our babysitter got into a fight with Lee and then decided to message my ex and ask for baby pictures.
Wait a minute, what?
We were
gonna
talking.
We were going to do it regardless.
Yes.
And even at the beginning, like she said, I didn't want.
To be honest, that's all that really matters. Their focus should be on the child, and not on what any other person thinks or how they feel. It's still crazy that the babysitter actually texted Ms. Armour's ex, asking him for baby pictures. That's just crazy.
But we did get a statement from his mother, and this is what she sent to the court. My son would love to have a child, but he doesn't believe Tiffany's baby is his based off what she told my son. The day that Tiffany's baby was born, she sent a text to my son and said he wasn't the father.
Well, there goes another truth bomb. The ex's mother says that her son has a condition that prevents him from having children, and if this child is actually his, then it's going to be a miracle baby. She even goes on to say that the ex would want to put his last name on the birth certificate if he truly is the father.
Indicating that your ex was told he'd probably never have children because of the medications. Does your ex have any children?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so the stakes are very high here. They're very high because, Mr. Hoover, you said from the beginning.
If we're being honest, he isn't wrong. This case has so much tied to the results. At this point, I think we need to visit them. Let's see if Ms. Armour is still going to have a happy family after this drama. Here are the results and the judge's verdict.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Hoover, you are not the father. I'm so sorry.
We needed to know.
Mr. and Mrs. Elston were previously in court with concerns surrounding the paternity of their 2-year-old son, and sadly, Mr. Elston was not the father. Mrs. Elston is here again to see if she can save her marriage once more by proving that her husband is the biological father of her newborn son. This is how their case begins.
You are now here hoping to save your marriage by proving your husband is the biological father of your newborn son, Hasten. Mr. Elston, you recently moved out of your home to paternity doubts, and you are convinced you are not Hasten's father. Ms. Elston, I'll start with you. You're in.
But come on, can she really blame him? She already broke his heart once. I don't think he is ready to have his heart broken again. Mrs. Elston says that her husband moved out of the house shortly after she gave birth to her new son.
So how does does this doubt make you feel? I mean, you've packed up and moved out of your own home, left your wife, Carson, Kaysen. I mean, how do you feel when you look at this baby?
I mean, I don't have a bond with him, and I don't.
Looks like Mr. Elston is not over the trauma he went through the last time he was in the courtroom. Imagine him having to move out of his own home so he doesn't look at the child. That's just the height of it. He even says that it's Mrs. Elston's friend that chose the baby's name and not him.
Well, Your Honor, when I was at work, I was 3 hours away. She texted me talking about she pregnant. So I was like, I can't leave work just to take you to the hospital. So she said I'll call my cousin and see if he can take me. So when I get home.
Her ex? Wow. It's starting to seem like Mrs. Elston did not learn her lesson the last time. Mr. Elston tells the judge that his doubts started when his wife lied to him and told him that it was her cousin that took her to the hospital when it was in fact her ex that did. You can see that Mr. Elston has every right to feel the way he feels right now.
Yes, ma'am, because one day we got the argument bad and I left the house and she texted me and she was like, that's why Carson wasn't yours, Kaysen's not yours either. And she said, I married you just so I could put you on child support, just in case you tried to leave me. And, you know, we're separated now and...
Man, that's actually insane. I can't believe she actually said those things to him. Mr. Elston tells the judge that they got into an argument one time, and Mrs. Elston told him that she only married him so he could take care of her kids, and if he tried to leave, she would trap him with the kids.
These are text messages between you, Mr. Elston, and your wife, Ms. Elston. You write, "Why do you say that, Carly?" She responds, "He's not even your baby, just like Carson wasn't." Whoa. Mr. Elston, you say, "Blank, then don't ask me to do nothing for them." Miss Elston, you say, "Okay, bet, Ladarian."
I love when there's always proof to back up an accusation. Mrs. Elston actually said these things. Wow. Now I'd really love to see her excuse and how she intends to get herself out of this mess.
And he was out cheating and doing him, and he wants to sit up and say that Kaysen is not his, but...
So you just said it this one time out of anger, you were just really angry.
It happened multiple times. This is not the first.
I said it like 3 times my pregnancy, yes.
Well, Mr. Elston, you submitted another text message.
I don't even know what to say at this point. I am honestly speechless. Even the judge doesn't seem to understand how Mrs. Elston can say something like this. In her defense, she said that the only reason she spoke like this to her husband was because she was upset. But come on, it happened more than once, and it was always when she was pregnant.
My friend came to the house one weekend, it's a female, and she pulled me downstairs when Carly was asleep and told me that Carly had vented to her that she's been cheating, she's been, you know, going to see other people, and
Your Honor, this is the same friend that he's sleeping with, so no, she wants to break us up.
This case just keeps getting messier and messier. Mr. Elston says that a friend of hers told him that she was sleeping with other guys aside from him. Mrs. Elston then goes on to say that this same friend is sleeping with Mr. Elston, and she's just trying to ruin their marriage. Well, we are about to hear from this friend.
I just want to break up our relationship. He does do for me in my stop line.
I don't want anything to do with you guys.
Stop lying.
So wait, answer my question.
You was just stuck.
Answer my question. I asked, what do you know about this? What did she tell you?
Basically saying that Kaysen was not Ladarian's, that...
I think we've heard just about enough. Men! Her friend must really not like Mrs. Elston. Oh well, the results are in, and I think it's time for us to see if Mrs. Elston betrayed her husband's trust again. Let's put an end to this toxic case, shall we?
Mr. Elston, you are the father.
Chaos erupted between these high school sweethearts. Ms. Walton comes to the courtroom claiming that her 9-year relationship with her high school sweetheart, Mr. Cherry, is on the line. Why? Well, Mr. Cherry says that Ms. Walton cheated on him multiple times, and he now doubts the paternity of their 1-year-old child. Here's how the case begins.
Walton, you say your 9-year relationship with your high school love is in jeopardy because he denies fathering your 1-year-old Saya. Is that correct?
Yes, Sean.
So Cherry, you claim that Ms. Walton cheated constantly with another man, and you are 100...
It seems like there is a lot on the line for this high school couple. They've been together for a long time, and now Mr. Cherry is willing to drop everything if the results show that the child does not belong to him. I wonder how such a beautiful relationship became this. 9 years is a long time.
Cherry, you really have doubt.
Yes, I do. I do have doubts because throughout our relationship, it's been just straight lies, you know, so.
Not true.
I just want to be here to let her know that everything that's been going on in our relationship is just lies.
Oh, yeah.
So when you say straight lies, I mean, it's been a 9-year relationship.
After all he just said, I'm sure you can agree with me when I tell you he is willing to walk away from it all. He claims that the 9-year relationship has been very rocky and filled with lies. What could Ms. Walton have done to this man to make him feel so heartbroken?
Hectic between me and her, you know, she decided to want to do what she want to do. I decided to do what I want to do, but you know, we had set all that to the side and just decided that we're gonna do this together. We're gonna do this together, you know, just for the sake of what we've been through our high school, so we're just trying to reconnect.
What? If he cheated, she cheated, how do they expect the relationship to work if that's the mentality they both have in the relationship? I mean, if they both agreed to date other people, why are they mad at each other when things went bad? Hilarious is how I would describe this.
He started messing around when he don't get attention from me, or if I don't do what he wants me to do, because he gets controlling. He gets in his little ego and want to go to a female that backs down, Your Honor, and I'm not fit to do that. I had met my ex, and we were together up until...
Once you bring an ex into an ongoing relationship, it can only end one way. When will these guys learn that once you're with someone new, you stay clear of your ex? What's even more mind-blowing is that they already have 2 kids. That's just wild.
Josiah's birthday is August 18th of 2015.
Okay.
Okay. Me and my ex stopped dating a week before Thanksgiving of 2015, which was the 23rd through the 29th. We
Okay,
slept
so the
together on
23rd to the 29th, you with Mr. Cherry.
Yes.
I thought I was the only one who was doing the math. It just doesn't add up. She says she stopped messing around with her ex a week before the conception of her child. I'm sorry, but that's just way too close. There's a high chance that the baby could have been conceived way before the week she's talking about.
Something similar like me, but had goals in his mouth, you know, so I asked her.
Which is not true, Your Honor, because my ex don't even have goals.
I asked her who's the guy was, and she didn't say anything, you know, so a couple more days on down the line, you know, I started digging.
Yes, yes! We aren't going to deny the fact that Mr. Cherry also cheated in their relationship, but come on, leaving the house at 1 a.m. in the morning? Where's she sneaking to? Who's she going to go to see? Crazy fact is that it's not even her ex, so who's the guy with the gold teeth?
Ms. Walton, where is his place?
Probably at his house. And at that time, he was cheating too, so why should I be faithful to somebody that's not faithful neither, Your Honor?
If we're being honest, Ms. Walton doesn't seem to be remorseful about cheating. I mean, look at her facial expression. One would even ask if she really wants to be part of the family. I don't know. Men! Something doesn't feel right about the way she's acting, but let's wait for the results.
I told my best friend.
You told your best friend and you told Mr. Cherry?
Yes.
Did you tell the other man?
No.
You never told him?
No.
Because did you ever think to potentially be his child, or you just didn't want him to know?
Oh, please. She can't be serious. What does she mean by she knows in her heart that Mr. Cherry is the father of her child? Lady, that's not how things work. Could the other guy be the father of the child? Who knows? Maybe that's why she did not tell him about the baby.
I didn't have doubts. I didn't
color.
have doubts at that moment, but as he started getting a little older,
look at that, Yana, from when he was little.
I started doubting. His facial features looked like me when he was born, but as he started getting older.
Mr. Cherry sure seems to be hurt by the entire situation. It looks like he is a good father. He told the judge that he was there for every single doctor's appointment when Ms. Walton conceived the child. Well, let's see if the DNA results will give him some relief.
Mr. Cherry, you are the father.